You're listening to BleedTV, the only podcast today's best shows and movies. I'm Zach.
I'm Jake. And I'm Cash.
And tonight we got Walking Dead. This is episode 3 of season 8, and this was called
Monsters.
Monsters. They used the word monster a couple different ways in this one, didn't they?
They did. They tried to go Game of Thrones with it and give it multiple characters and multiple shout-outs.
Yeah, Rick's a monster.
Morales, I think.
Morales said he was basically a monster as well. And then Gregory, in his lame ass, decided to call everybody in the party coming up to monsters. So, couple of ways there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we'll dissect it another way or two.
Yeah.
I mean, there's walkers and stuff. Those are monsters.
Yeah.
Man.
So, all right, bro. What was the... give me the
Overall
rating. 1 to 10 star here. 10 being great, 1 being god-awful.
Unfortunately, this one's roaming around the 5 range.
That high? Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, that was way up there.
Yeah.
No, because I wasn't just horrifically disappointed with everything in the episode, but I thought they made some odd choices on the directions they went in a few of these.
I would definitely say...
Or I guess, not the direction they decided to go, but the way they made that direction, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just like I don't mind... this group ending up this way, but the way they ended up that way, I feel like
the journey wasn't very good.
Whatever. The path was a little riddled with dog shit.
I will definitely say you're correct on that. I mean, I'm shooting at like a 3, and probably, as we said before, Nicotero's worst episode that we've ever seen.
Yeah, well, like when I think of Nicotero episodes, I think of stuff that has a little more action. It has a singular focus episodes. You know what I mean? Like, we're following a certain group, a certain path, and there's a goal and stuff like that. This episode, some of the writing in this episode and some of the decisions they're doing with some of the characters absolutely drove me up the effing wall. I just could not deal with it. I was constantly just like cussing at the TV while I was watching the episode. I'm so tired of some of the things that we're doing, and we're repeating the same material with different characters, and it's getting effing old.
Yeah, the repetitiveness of especially one character is getting lame at this point.
I mean, it's flip-flop. The fish needs to die when it runs out of oxygen, and we quit doing this. You know, I mean, it's just driving me nuts. But let's dive into it. You really could almost say again that we're still dealing with the 3 groups. Y'all want to do the 3 groups thing again? And breaking it down?
That's fine.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to go about it.
All right, do y'all want to do Aaron's group, at the compound first, or King E, or how?
I think...
Well, it leads out with King E's group.
All right.
It starts with there, so we can just do that one.
Okay.
All right.
I know it ends on that one, but...
It starts off with King E back at the group, back to his king speeching, and luckily it was much more minimal this episode. We didn't have to listen to a lot of that this time.
Well, I don't know. There was a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, not near as much as last episode. Not near as much.
More of his smiley pearly whites than anything.
Correct.
Smiling. And the note was like, and I'm still smiling. We're like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
You're going to smile. Carol's going to smile.
Not one. Okay, so what do you think about the way they started this, where they were just doing like little flashes?
I didn't like it.
I didn't mind it, really. To be honest, I thought it was going to be a cool deal where like he's talking and then we get a little fast forward and come back to it, a little fast forward.
Unfortunately, what they were doing was they were kind of spoon feeding you what was about to happen. Because it was too easy to see that Carol wasn't in the group he was walking with.
Yes.
It was too easy to spot, like, oh, so the trailer or the teaser or whatever we got last week where they show them with their hands up and stuff.
All surrounded.
Yeah, that's obviously like a flanking booby trap. I mean, it's just like, Cash is good about not watching the teasers. We shouldn't watch them almost, you know what I mean? Because
it set us up.
It gives you this false
sense of like tension and everything. But the problem was it was edited so poorly, I didn't feel any tension in the little chop up, and I think that's why I didn't like it.
But that's because you could clearly see that Carol wasn't there. And I feel like they even put a short, kind of sandy, gray-haired person in the group to make you maybe think that was Carol. But you could just tell it's not there.
Not with that is that whenever you've seen this group moving, Carol and Ezekiel have always been together.
Yeah.
And so him to be by himself with much smaller numbers. It was so obvious. And then I'm just like, okay, so they're surrounded. And I'm thinking, are they going to come running out of the bushes in different places? This right here is what, for them to already be in the bushes and waiting.
Okay, so this would mean that Carol's separated little party
was way ahead.
Ran ahead of Ezekiel went ahead and hid in the bushes surrounding this clearing, and then waited for Ezekiel to walk up just at the same time that the other group was going to walk up.
That's
into
impeccable
this
timing.
Yeah.
Not only that, the group came at them in a horseshoe shape. Okay? So I don't see how you're hiding behind bushes because they were almost in a crossfire when they're standing up and shooting.
They weren't almost in a crossfire. They were in a crossfire.
Okay, see, that was my concern, was the fact that
You're
Carol's
mowing
group
down
is
your own-
separated on each side. They're shooting into each other, kind of.
Right.
And then Ezekiel's group just gets on one knee and shooting this way. That's fine. But I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It was a...
It was
From
cheeseball.
The way it's chopped together is not strong.
No.
It isn't. It really, really isn't. It really struggled. And I can tell you something else. I went back and rewound it, and the bushes they were hiding behind, they were placed there.
Yeah.
You could tell they were not naturally growing there because they were all perfectly 3 feet to the ground, so you could all stand up and see the actor's torso and up shooting. You follow what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't natural.
The only strong part about this, I thought, was the bullet wounds on the victims.
Well, that's the other thing is that, okay, how many bad guys you think made this horseshoe that showed up? We want to say 20? Ballpark?
Yeah, give or take.
Maybe 15 to 20. I'd say
15 to 20. Now, when you first see people getting shot, they immediately, you see 4 or 5 bullets hitting their chests, and they're hitting the ground in a second, immediately, right? Now, we see groups from both sides stand up shooting, and then we see Ezekiel's group start shooting. And, I mean, we went through 4 different cuts of people shooting. There was nobody left standing for the last 4 or 5 seconds of shooting.
No, and
That's where like they overdo it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like realistically, Ezekiel's group and them, they could really just pop up, bam, 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 and that's it. Because by then, everybody's already on the ground.
oh, and you're going to see later on, and I don't know why they decided to focus on this chick, but she pops around and she's like, it looks like the gun's rubber, and she's just like, brrr, brrr, you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about? Like
yeah.
she's like her eyes are closed and she's freaking out. And I was like, why focus on her? That was a bad choice.
Yeah.
You know,
It was just
you're
poor
right.
editing decisions.
But see, the thing is, like we had Rosemary on the other day. The gunplay was much stronger on her episode than on this one.
Absolutely.
Like, it's just
Because things were thought out.
Yeah,
you can definitely see the plan was executed during Rosemary's episode, where Nicotera was like, the idea of how they do this ambush is cool. How it's delivered on film based on how it was edited, like you're saying, Cash, just didn't deliver.
No, it's like a lot of things that you're always saying. I've got this great idea. It's going to look fantastic on film. And then this is just how we get there. Just word vomit.
right. Like I said, the end result, cool. The path leading to it is
Awful.
botched completely.
Right.
And also with, I mean, this is going to be minor, but how slowly Ezekiel and his militia group got down to one knee and then raised their weapons.
I'm going to say, there was nobody left standing by the time he even pulls his M16 out and pulls the first trigger.
how does
and
no
he
one
shoots
even-
to like a half a mag to the right, and then rolls his gun over to the left and shoots a half a mag. And he ain't shooting down neither. I mean, that's the stuff that just drives me nuts. I wish somebody looked at this and somebody actually looked at that and said, "Damn, that looks good right there." You know, and I'm
They're
like,
gonna eat
no,
this up.
no.
Yeah, I don't know. I I'm feeling that some of the editing and some of the direction of the camera was the choice of
Think about this. See if you can visualize this. Imagine if the camera was behind Ezekiel's group and you could see all 20 of these people getting mowed down from all 3 directions. Then it looks cool.
Yeah, and
and then you can make it one continuous shot
Instead of this chop up, I'm jumping out of the man-made bushes on each side. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting at. That's that little things that could make the scene so much better.
What are you thinking,
just
Jake?
a little forethought.
nothing. That was kind of the same idea. Just kind of, we almost get the same exact error soon. You know what I mean? Where they once again are hiding behind,
The same exact.
cars and pieces of metal and stuff like that and machinery. Once again, Ezekiel's group's walking up and the other group's coming, and it's just like, okay.
We saw this an episode and 2 episodes ago, so why are we having to go through it again?
Or there wasn't even an Ezekiel group walking up that time.
It
They were
was
just
just
everybody
placed
was
in the
hiding
smoke.
behind the metal, pieces and stuff like that. The second time, right? Wasn't that the second time?
I think that wasn't the second one when they were all behind pallets, and as a group walking by, they just stood up and mowed them all
Yes,
down.
that's what I'm talking about. That's the one with girl with rubber gun.
Okay.
Right, and then there's just bodies everywhere, and then you see them going through the woods, and there's this really cool set piece of this old
garage.
Old garage. It's got and like they drop the two guys up top.
That was a cool one.
And then you hear the gunfire inside and stuff like that. At a distance, made that so much better than showing them going in and being Splinter Cell and taking folks out.
An excellent job by the stunt man. First guy drops, but then the second guy just like dead falls to
full commit to it
and just straight
full
down.
Commit. There wasn't no bracing or I fell perfectly on my back or any of that kind of stuff.
Excellent, well done.
Yeah, so I mean, like they did a lot of those things that were pretty cool. Like I said, then you end up in this area where all these pallets are. They take this out, and to the point where they finally end up, and you have the whole Ezekiel's like, not one. I knew it was coming when the guy walked up to him and goes, "We didn't lose not one. Everyone's accounted for." And he starts smiling. I was like, really? Why don't you just go ahead and tell everybody so we know all you're about to die? You know? I mean, this was where the crap's about to hit the fan. Now, I did like that they did the timing of this, of when Rick finds out that the guns were moved.
Okay. But here's my concern with this, though. So, was this a trap? Or was this something they already had set up?
I think it's bad coincidence.
I'm with Cash. Like, it didn't... Here's the deal. It didn't deliver well, even though it was a cool effect.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's different. Like what you're saying is that I think the next episode is going to be able to explain why that 50 was there and waiting on them.
Outside of a leak. Or is that what you're thinking? There's a leak in there?
No, I don't necessarily think there's a leak. What I'm saying is, all right, so one guy gets away, last episode, right? Gets away and he makes the call, so they know they're coming. So... we get the first round of people running at Ezekiel's group.
Yeah.
Right? And this is the one with the flank trap and stuff like that. Why was there a second group coming? Was it because they radioed to them or something like that? And like, hey, no response. Let's send a whole nother group at them because they hop up on the pallets and shoot that group down too.
Well, I think the people who were walking out there that was at their place.
So that was a whole nother outpost right there.
That was the outpost they were going to.
So they knock out 2 outposts before they get to the 3rd outpost, is what you're telling me.
I believe so.
I believe so. That's what it is. Like, if you have the first wave of guys that are coming at them, they kill those. They kill a small little outpost that has those 2 guys on the roof and people in it. We call the garage, or like that.
Right.
When you get to the pallets and they mow all those guys down, and then they go out there and finish them all off, the guys walks up to him and goes, "Hey,
That's right.
everybody's accounted for." The problem I have with this scene is that if they were waiting on them up there, why did they wait for them to mow everybody down and be walking around out there?
But here's my thing. If they're up there and their job is to be bird's nest, looking down at that space right there, correct?
Yeah, the crow's nest, watch out.
How did Ezekiel's group get on each side of that road and hide everything without any of them seeing them before the group runs through the center
Exactly,
of it?
because that crow's nest up there has a perfect view of everything in that field.
Would have seen them coming for quite some time.
Correct.
And if they wanted to set up a trap from that point, perfect sense. Awesome. Because then it would have made sense. Like, oh, there was a bird's nest.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they knew they were coming to that spot right there.
So
but instead, they were allowed to get all the way up there, hide behind cover, kill off a whole group of their guys, and then once they come out of that spot, then they get shot.
Well, here, let's play devil's advocate. Let's say that your guys are out there getting shot to pieces. You've just had this 50 transferred to you. You're taking the time to get it set up in the crow's nest because you just heard all this gunshot from one side of the building. And then you get ready to unload because the sound he hears is him to pull the crank on the 50. And then he's like, get that, possible.
Maybe, but
it just seems
said it
thin.
was delivered yesterday.
Right. It just seems thin.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. We shouldn't have to be guessing to make the situation plausible.
No. But I think we do get told in the next episode. It's just like, why are we waiting to get told?
Right. I think that's what but that's what something else you don't do. Don't give me an answer to a plausibility issue of the last episode.
It's just a tough spot.
It's tough. It is. Because I'm going to be honest with you. When the 50 starts shooting, I thought it was pretty freaking cool. I mean, like...
No, that's cool. The fact, like you said, that when it lines up with Rick and Daryl learning that the guns were moved, that's cool. Because they set up this whole thing where Daryl's clearly going to be pissed that Dwight lied to them.
Oh, yeah.
And then Rick luckily asked this question. And then it's like, oh, man, that all lined up extremely well. Y'all are smart enough to line up this whole cool, elaborate thing to run the whole length of the episode. But the other stuff, I just feel like is half-hearted.
And all they had to do is just give us another outpost or something, like a small reason to go to this different one where you just delivered the 50 cows instead of making it to where we could have seen the delivery the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, it's missing a 2-minute shot to give you an explanation or something.
It's missing a 2-minute shot of one guy radioing in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, one guy that's like a scout, not like with a whole party of people, like to say, they just mowed down the whole team. They're coming to our post. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll be set up and ready and waiting for them.
I'm sure it's that shock and awe of watching half of Ezekiel's people get mowed down, like the guy who took 2 massive gunshots to the back, protecting the king. You know?
No, absolutely. I'm not suggesting you're wrong. I'm just saying the way it all lines up. Once again, the path is just so muddy. Mm-hmm. I mean, we have to insert this or remove that to make it all fit. And that gets annoying after a while.
Oh, I totally agree.
Also, people, if there's a 50 cow being mowed down upon you, don't try to jump and save anybody. It's going through you and the other person.
3 people to go save him.
Dedicated human beings for Ezekiel here.
Oh,
yeah.
Just don't do it.
2 of them.
Oh, 2 of them. So let's go ahead and greased.
All right, so let's go ahead and be honest with ourselves. Okay, when you are shooting a Browning 50 cal, okay,
well, it's going to hit Ezekiel.
There is nothing body armor or skater gear or your body or anything that's going to penetrate. That's going to prevent that bullet from penetrating you, the next guy, the guy after that, and the ground 6 feet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the rollerblading pads aren't going to stop that bullet.
These rollerblading pads.
So the bottom line here is that whoever this guy is, it takes 2 gruesome rounds in the back in front of Ezekiel. Ezekiel probably needs to have 2 gruesome wounds through him as well.
Okay, so another question. They also laid out in the episode that if at all possible, save the king, the widow, and Rick. Mm-hmm. This guy's going 50 cal on Ezekiel, like,
if possible. So I mean,
mow everybody but Ezekiel down.
Hey, you know, I think those things are kind of accurate.
First rounds go straight at Ezekiel.
Oh yeah.
So, do we think it's interesting that, and this is just a minor detail. All right, out of all the people who get mowed down by this 50, you see at least like 4 or 5 the first round, and then you see these people who jump on Ezekiel, and you see these 2 big old nasty bloody wounds, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you notice? I went back, and none of the people across the front have a single blood wound. You see like the ground spray, and they're like, oh, and they fall. No blood effects, nothing that you can see.
I mean, it's not zoomed in on them. I'm not too stressed about it, I guess. I mean,
you know what I think about every time I think about a 50 cal? I think of Rambo, John Rambo. You know, where you see people like just turning into disintegrating. I'm just like,
I mean, that's probably the right reaction of what a 50 cal is going to do.
Thank you. This is what I wanted.
I
wanted to see
Fury. Yeah.
I wanted to see people turn into meatloaf.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I want to see. Just the ketchup and ground beef going everywhere.
We've come a long way with what we could show on cable TV.
Mean, seriously.
But the thing is, too, is like Nicotero, man. Here's your chance to do some, like...
I want to see an arm blown completely off the limb.
Saving Private Ryan business.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, this was a golden opportunity.
You remember when the sock sticky bomb and he doesn't quite make it to the thing? It's not even like a grenade goes off. It's like a puff.
Yeah.
He just turns into
dismembered.
Just goo in a spray. You know, I was just like, oh.
That's what I would have enjoyed seeing.
I wouldn't even cared about how the gun got in there. I'd have been like, hell yeah, look at him, turn it into it, you know?
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
That was that. I was like, now that I know, like I didn't realize Nicotero had done the episode until after, and I was like, damn it, this is an opportunity.
And how badass would it be, you know, whatever Rick's group comes to check on Ezekiel, see what's going on, and you see guys with the skater pads walking, and there's like one with both his arms ripped off,
blown off,
one with half his head missing, or whatever
huge gaping holes, you know,
a leg missing. He's dragging himself. Or like, what the fuck did that?
Yeah, well, it's just like when we need the Patriot when the cannonballs were going off, and then just people's limbs are going off as this bowling ball is just going through people.
Okay, so was that last episode that we saw the walker with like the melting part of its body?
I think that was the first one.
And it was like, what happened to that walker? no payoff for that yet, right?
No.
None.
Okay, just making sure I'm not mistaken on this.
It would befell
That
this
the chemical
poor soul.
burns
Yeah.
on this thing
Yeah.
are not somewhere around.
Okay, and so
misfire.
did we know that we were looking for 50 cals like Brownings? Because I thought we were just looking for a room of guns.
No,
He said guns,
I
but
thought it
then-
was just a room of guns.
Okay.
That's what I heard too. But then he made a distinct a Browning 50 cal.
Well, that was at the end of the episode, right?
Yeah, they never say that in
Until the
previous
end.
episodes or this episode till the end.
Exactly. Like I'm with you. They were just looking for guns.
Yeah, because
There's
I
supposed to
was
be a
waiting
room full
for
of
us to
guns.
walk into like our armory back at Alexandria before Negan took. I thought we were looking for like almost an exact replica of that, and then at the end of the episode, have we
It was
moved
very
any
specific.
50 Browning 50 cows? Oh yeah, we had those, but I mean, I'm kind of jumping ahead, but I was just making sure I didn't miss something to know that.
No, you didn't miss nothing. Yeah, it was. It was. That was miss. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know where that came from. All right, let's go to Aaron's group. Okay. Well, first of all, do we predict anybody else? All right, so everybody's mowed down. Are we to think that everybody got mowed down minus Ezekiel,
people?
Carol, Jerry, and do you think the redheaded guy took a bullet?
Yes.
Yes.
I think the redhead guy is one of the ones that jumped on him to protect him.
All right, I'm gonna tell you right now. If there was those three people who jumped on him, and all three of them have holes in them, and Ezekiel's like knocking dust off of him, like, no, you're gonna be okay, but I don't have a single wound on me. Yeah, no.
I hope Ezekiel has like a really nasty leg wound. Like a thigh shot or something. Just something.
I don't see that happening.
Where they could just wrap a bandage around him or something. It looked cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, maybe we give it to
horrific, but
You'll never walk again because
No, yeah.
your hips been turned into dust, but you've got a cool
your
bandage.
femur is powdered milk. But
You
Yeah,
might be
no.
better off as a walker at this point, but
Yeah, no.
we saved you.
Okay, I was just curious what y'all thought.
No, I
you
don't
think
think-
Jerry got hit in the gunfire?
no.
Okay.
No, I mean Jerry, Carol, and King Ezekiel are all still alive.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see.
I don't
You
think
could.
Jerry-
You did not see Jerry in the field when gunfire started.
And you know what? I think they kind of put a overweight dude that did
Yeah,
jump on Ezekiel. I think that was kind of on purpose to make you think possibly Jerry.
but I'm not buying it.
But
I'm
Jerry was
not
probably over there swinging his axe, like just ricocheting those bullets right away.
ding, 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 ding.
Old Ryan
Just
Reynolds
swinging 'em
Deadpool
back up
action.
at the-
Yeah, really.
It was like the old reflect. I don't know if anyone plays Overwatch, but Genji throwing them back up there.
No idea what you're talking about.
Man,
Nerd
really? You didn't get
zone
an
was
Overwatch?
high right
I've
here.
never played Overwatch before. Sorry.
That's
My
fair.
nerd-
All right, let's
cred is
move.
dropping.
Let's move on to Aaron and company at the ambush. So evidently, Tobin had good enough time to be able to go and wrap something around his arm. He's good.
He didn't
go.
have anything wrapped around his arm. He's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well,
Makeup
later on, he puts a
department
little
came
bandana
out.
on it. That's what I'm talking about.
It's just a flesh wound.
It's just a little flesh wound, so he's okay.
He's a big dude. He ought to be able to take it.
Yeah, it's not like
Yeah. I'll tell you, who I was looking for the whole time? I was waiting for breast shot chick to hop up and just be like, you start shooting. I'm like, no.
Well, I was waiting for her to hop up and be like, "Ugh."
All right. So evidently this is a new wave of guys because this
I
is
don't
like
know.
reinforcements because when the chick got her throat cutting out and everything like that, they led you to believe that everybody over there was dead.
Once again, this is edited so strangely.
Yeah.
You can't tell what's because they make a decision like, and I don't even remember what they say. It wasn't like fall back into the building or back into. I don't remember. It's like change direction. I'm like, I couldn't make out what was going on.
No.
I didn't know that they were literally going back into the building.
I think they fell back because the saviors came in. Like
no,
Morales
because
is-
Morales makes the call.
Yeah.
Come back in. I have Rick.
Well, no, I thought like his reinforcements they came back in, and so that's why they fell back into the building. They just didn't.
No, here's the problem with that, though. They turn around and start shooting it back where they're going. You notice that, too? See, that's what baffled me.
Maybe walkers, maybe more. All the people
Because
that were inside.
they showed two people at a doorway, and then they were shooting at that doorway before they went to that doorway.
I agree with you. And it looked like they killed two of our people
Yes.
in that door. Otherwise, they ran through the door and were just like waiting for a crossfire just to light them up. No,
just
they
saying-
do. You're right. Because
It
one
made
of the
me-
guys is shooting back towards the cars, which you should be if you're falling back. But then a group, they start firing at the doorway.
Where they're going. Yeah, it made
Unless
no
they're
sense.
saying that that's Alexandria people shooting at that doorway, but it didn't look like that. It looked like the people running were literally firing at the...
Amen. Because the guys were like, hey, they've stopped shooting. And then they're like, well, no, they're shooting over there. Like, they had no clue.
Yeah, because honestly, if we had Alexandria people in that doorway shooting at the backs of them, there's no way any of them are alive.
No.
Because they're in a straight crossfire.
And not only that,
they're dead.
None of these people that were in there, because I even recognized the black guy. He's an actor I've seen in several things before. He was not in the original group with the chick who got killed and all that stuff.
No.
So if we were behind them, how does the reinforcements even get out there? This whole thing didn't jive. It made no sense.
And it was confusing in the moment, and it's even more confusing now that we're trying to explain it.
That's what I'm like. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, you don't miraculously come up with more people to continue a gunfight that looked like it was over when Eric took a bullet.
What's the thing is, like, last episode,
Mm-hmm.
it all ran smoothly. It was fine.
We thought it ended.
He clearly goes over to Eric and is like with him and is like starts walking away with him and stuff. Like this gun battle is basically over.
Yeah, because there's no way you're going to leave a gunfight to go.
Well, you're not just going to also walk across the path of a bunch
Right,
of people firing at you, hobbling. You know what I mean? Carrying a person, basically. I don't know what they were doing necessarily, picking this back up. You know what I'm saying? Like when the walkers start coming, you know what I mean? They're like, we didn't have to move, and the chick gets killed. Fine, there was a few people still left alive. Just say they backed into the building. You know what I'm saying? Like just let them fall back.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think if like they fell back at the end of the episode or not.
They didn't.
No,
it was stone cold out there.
That thing ends basically with Chick getting their neck bit and Eric being shot and stuff
And
like
then,
that.
Well, they even show a
off.
camera scene of like all the bodies on the ground and a couple walkers getting up. Like they show that after
So
Chick
there was
gets
no more people outside firing.
Right, exactly. So this is where you have a scene of them out there, and all of a sudden you see guys coming out of a doorway or something as like a reinforcement somewhere from the side building. Something instead of them just miraculously showing up by cars and we're continuing a gunfight that was dead when your last episode.
Yeah, see, this is an issue. It's like I almost feel like I need to watch last episode's, a couple scenes just to see if this has continuity at all. But just watching it from Sunday to Sunday, I don't understand it. So that's a problem to me.
Yeah, no, I was shaking my head. This is another scene. I was like, oh, what did they do? Fucking growing on the ground? I mean, where are they coming from? You know?
I mean, it almost should have been played in the opening credits. Like when we have the flashback, this is what happened. We should have put some of the end battle scene right back in there just so we knew how it was laid out. Because like you said, I can't remember it from last week.
Yeah, that struggled. So like you said, we're taking Eric over there to the tree. Okay, he's there. We're having another moment. And we have hey, you need to go help them because more gunfire is going on. The whole 9 yards. Okay.
Well, first he says, how bad is it? It's got an exit wound. He wraps his shirt around him.
Did y'all notice the problem with that?
No.
His exit wound was on the wrong side.
I'm trying to remember.
Think about it. He covered his right abdomen with his right hand with a plaid shirt.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
You get shot in the side, that's where it's going to exit out your other side.
It's possible. But
if it's a straight shot, yeah, it will go out the same side.
But he was broadside when he supposedly got shot. So you don't know. I mean, it's possible. I wouldn't beat that up. I'm just saying, like, it was funny that his exit wound was on the opposite side of the body. From where he was holding.
Oh, the exit wound is definitely on his left love handle on the back.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, wraps him up with the shirt after you get like a little bit of hope, like, oh, there's an exit wound.
You're saying chance of him. I mean, I knew he was toast. I mean, I think we all.
We all knew.
It's a bad spot to get shot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at least a kidney blown out.
At least
possible liver death,
some in your intestines,
some of the intestine, your colon, probably a little bit.
Yeah, really.
And what if there's still a black market for organs in this time? It's like, hey,
hey, just snatch that one out of the walker right there. So yeah, he wraps him up. They have a cryy, kissy scene. He tells him, he loves him, and you need to get back to the gunfight, which you can kind of hear in the background. It's like, cool.
Kudos to them for keeping the gunfight going on the entire time. They did a good job with that.
I mean, I think the actors did well. I think they conveyed good emotion. I thought the tree scene was good. You know, I didn't have an issue with it at all.
I don't have a major issue with this.
I mean, the only issue I had with it was, I mean, if we don't come back to it, was just Eric. Like
Well, I
this,
mean-
When we come back to
Okay.
this, yes, we'll have our beef with this. But yeah, the only thing is Eric having his, comic relief. Did you shoot me? You know what I mean? It's like, I'm so sorry.
I mean, it
sorry.
was
I was like, ooh.
no, you don't have a lobster bib. Don't worry.
Oh, there it is. Hashtag yes.
So yeah, whatever. This scene was okay. I didn't have a huge
no, I
problem
mean,
with
this
this.
was a good scene.
I have more of a problem later on when Aaron comes over. Aaron's acting during that part than I did this part.
Yes. Yes.
because
Very much.
I thought it got a little
It was like
cheesy, or
I don't know if
he.
he was upset or if he was like, I don't know. His expression and how he was acting was just
Some
like,
people have bad cry faces and like bad like devastation faces.
this was real bad.
Yeah.
Remember Andrea?
We're
Don't
talking
get
nightmares like that again.
How dare you?
One of the worst cry faces you'll ever see in your life. So yeah, all right.
I don't
So
know.
Aaron heads back to the gunfight, and that's pretty much the end. And it goes to Rick and Daryl.
Goes to Rick and Daryl Company.
Rick and Morales. I'm sorry.
Yes.
We get a long diatribe between these two.
Now, I love this writing. I love.
No, I enjoyed this. It was weird to see Rick like stammering.
Yeah, like he was like
I would try something. We would say something.
Yeah,
you know?
He looked like he was fleeting in the situation. Like he was unsure of himself,
Not at
unconfident.
first.
You know,
At first, he was like,
yeah.
"Just shoot me, whatever." You know what I mean? Like blood's trickling down his face.
Yep.
And all that stuff. It wasn't until
After Morales had turned the cards and be like, well, if I'm the one with the gun.
yeah, he said if you were the one with the gun, and then Rick's like, "Well, we would have come up with something." Blah 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 blah. You know what I mean?
And like you said, stuttering.
I
and
might do
everything.
it, but I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, that's going to make me
I
feel
wouldn't
better.
want to.
I wouldn't want to. And
That
then he
matters a lot to the guy with the bullet in him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to shoot you.
But I do like Morales is like, we're the same assholes that are going to go in, do what we have to do to survive to the next day. You're a monster. I'm a monster. All that stuff. Like, I love that. Calling it what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Accepting
on.
it.
But I'm going to be honest with you. Do you believe him as becoming this guy after losing his family and all that stuff? Do you believe that he pulled that off? Because, he was the sweet, tender family man who's going to Birmingham to find more family
Yeah.
to this guy we see now.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, we've seen how much Rick changed Carl and everybody. Like,
Right.
this place is going to eat that happy family man.
It's the sweet guy that ends up most of the time
The monster.
being the most jaded.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, where
'Cause
did,
his
where
life's
did-
ruined.
Where did being the nice guy get me? You know what I mean? It got me
yeah.
alone. My whole family's dead. All the people I knew are gone. I'm wasting away in a trailer just hoping
See,
to
I'm
die.
happy y'all said that because I felt like he really pulled it off. I thought it was good when he said, they thought I was worth the crap. They thought that I was worth giving a crap about, or a chance. Da da da.
Worth
I
surviving.
am Negan. I thought all his lines delivered well.
Well, I mean,
and
'cause
everything else.
They gave him the perfect line of, I killed him, or he died, and now I'm this new person. I'm this monster. and
exactly.
everything.
Oh, but see, but I love the part where Rick's telling him about they killed this and they killed that and they killed Glenn. And
He did a great job in bringing
explains
everybody
his
up.
pregnant
Yeah,
wife
in front
He
of
goes,
his pregnant wife.
She's the widow.
And you almost see Morales turn for a second because he
Yeah,
thinks
you
about it.
thought
He's
he
like,
was-
wait,
does turn for a second there. He drops his
Yeah.
gun and everything.
say we can find love here. Like, there's still a chance to be the good guy.
In this, he
Yeah.
kept going in this.
Yeah.
See, that was awesome. I
Yeah.
lost Lori. I lost Shane.
I liked all that stuff.
Well, I mean, he didn't tell him why he lost Shade and everything. So I realized Shade was
stabbed
thinking
that
about
But he lost Shane.
Yeah.
Whether you look at it with the end result
Yes.
or not, he lost
He
him
did.
before he killed him.
True.
Shane was gone. You know what I mean? He'd gone off the deep end.
But also, like, when Shane's banging your wife and everything, it's like, well, it makes it a little bit easier.
I
to,
mean,
Well, it was either kill or be killed situation
Yeah.
at that point.
yeah. And when
Shane
that
was at that point.
scarecrows hanging around in your tent. I mean, eventually
Yeah.
you're gonna pull a straw.
Yeah.
All right. So all I know is that Daryl, aka the Executioner, comes out. Comes
Great
in.
job. I'm loving Daryl right now.
Yeah. Everybody likes Daryl. Let's talk. Kill people.
Okay, But what's going on with Daryl? All right, so he shoots Morales.
I think he's living the mission to what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
We're killing if anybody.
Okay, kinda. Okay, I agree with you in a way. But I feel like he came to this building hoping that Dwight was lying. Okay, and he's like super pissed in a way, and like I think he's actually mad when the guy at the end says they were moved yesterday, and he just shoots him. You know what I mean? I think he wants to.
I think he wants revenge.
Think that Dwight is lying. You know what I mean? So he can come down on him. All right, so Rick freaks you out for a second there. He's like, wait, just,
Yeah.
no quick movements. Morales will put a bullet in you.
Yeah. That's the whole thing.
This person has a gun.
I do think it was kind of I thought for a second we were going to get the whole Rick look away and Morales be like, what are you looking at? And turn their head,
And then just get one side of the head.
Yeah. But I'm going to tell you this. When they killed Morales, I almost threw my remote. I was so damn mad.
Well, that's what sucks. When you get a guy like this who is pulling off extremely good writing and acting extremely well.
A season 1 character
and
that you bring back 7 years later.
Like,
Hey, guess what? And he has told you that he lost his family, that he was a broken man, has come back. This guy has the potential of being a redemptive character, a martyr, becoming a new face of the war, a mole.
Yeah, I mean, a Benny's Arnold,
like a
two-timer.
medium
Yeah.
between the two groups.
I mean, this guy can tell you, has the potential of telling you if Dwight is sandbagging you. This guy has so much potential for this to add a much better dynamic to the all-out war thing.
5 minutes
for us
screen
to put a bolt through him
Immediately.
7 years later down the drain.
5 minutes of screen time, 7 years.
Yeah.
And it was like,
It's like, why hold
what
this?
a waste.
Why hold this in the back pocket for nothing?
Now, we did hear that, Homeboy leaked it, that he was going to be a part of this season and so on. Do you think there's a chance that they probably like, oh, F this guy, 5 minutes, that's what he gets?
Because
I think there's a chance because if he can run his mouth now, it's like when other big things can happen, he could slip up again. I mean, it's a chance. It's a minimal chance.
yeah.
But my thing is, man, 5 minutes.
It was a waste. It was a real waste of an opportunity to have a golden character come back from season 1. There's nobody left from season 1 that you can come back. Him and his family were it. And in 5 minutes, those 4 people are gone.
Yeah.
Think about this. For all you know, Morales' son is a few years older and could be like Carl's age and become a character. Guess what? Morales' daughter could be a person that comes back on a character, because in the comic book, there is a young female character that's important down the road. This is a cool opportunity. There's a lot going on there. Or, you know what? This wouldn't even be a bad thing where you could even have a little bit of a small splinter side story, 5 minutes of footage of watching Morales lose his family or what happened to him as him talking about his past, going into the future. There is so much you could do with this.
And we
squandered it.
Or this, whatever this red machete thing is that's playing.
Yeah, the little deal about the story about the red machete.
Okay. I'm not watching it. But,
I haven't watched it yet either.
Haven't seen anything.
But make that Morales' story, you know what I mean? Leading him into his new story.
Yeah.
That's going to be a part of the show. Instead, we get 5 minutes, but it's really unfortunate because in an episode where acting is not super strong, other than this part,
this part only.
you know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh man, that's kind of disappointing when you see some strong work.
Yeah.
And then
I think
it's over. It's another thing where they're just building Rick's character.
Yes.
And damn everybody else as long as it adds to Rick's layers.
But this even added to Rick's layers.
It did. It was a character showing you the same thing. They both went down a similar path and ended up in the exact same position, but just at opposite ends. That's all it was. You went here and lost your family. Rick went here and lost a lot of his family, and they're both doing what they got to do to have a purpose to live to the next day. He called it what it was. I thought the speech was great.
But no, I thought it was a fantastic speech, but I just didn't see what it added to Rick, really.
Well,
It was just more like Rick realizing that they're the same person.
Yeah.
And like you said, I'm just the guy with the gun right now.
Yeah, but the thing was, we got an awesome Rick moment when he walks into that nursery and realizes that was just a dad protecting his infant child. And that was the big moment of realizing
You're a monster.
I would have done the same thing, no matter who it was that was about to go in that door, because I have a baby. I have kids.
Well, as you said, he's got like an 18-year-old daughter. So.
Right. But what I'm saying is they took that massive moment where Rick was clearly shaken.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The fact that he had just killed that kid's dad, more than likely her dad, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then they just throw Morales on top of that. If they would have let this where Morales lives and this becomes a cool extension,
dynamic.
awesome. Mm-hmm. Instead, they try to throw another layer into Rick's pile.
Of your bastard.
But you just got an awesome layer.
Yes,
with
you're
the
right.
baby thing. So it's like you're overflowing it. You know what I mean? You're saturating it to a point where it's like, okay, man, we realize Rick deals with so much shit. It's just constantly.
Well, not only that, this is how you attack his morality, not the bullshit we're going to talk about in a minute. Okay?
I mean, any of it.
Right. So, I mean...
It would have been so cool for Morales to meet Maggie. You know what I mean? And be like, hey, I knew Glenn from the start. He was a great dude. You know what I mean?
Because, I mean, he's the last person that can tell him stuff about Glenn that she might not know because he was with Glenn for so long beforehand.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, there's...
Anything other than just adding a layer onto Rick's shit pile.
Yeah.
Which is all it basically did at this point. You know what I mean?
I mean, he could go back and talk about how, it was a miracle to see Rick come in to see his children. It was, Rick helped save us get out of Atlanta.
Meet Carl?
Yeah, I mean, just...
Meet Michonne?
Yes, I mean...
There's a lot that was missed with this, and it was very disappointing.
And that was the thing, too. Yeah, Glenn got married. I lost Lori.
Yeah.
And I'm with this black ninja now that's awesome. You know what I mean? It's like, there was no reason.
Yeah, it's unlimited.
Yeah, there was no reason to
You can still be the
waste
good
him.
guy that you wanted to be.
I mean, Daryl could have just smashed him in the back of the head with the butt of his crossbow.
He could have.
Instead, he shoots him and goes, "You realize who that was?" He goes, "Yeah, let's move on." I mean, just like,
but I'm okay with it.
Move on.
I'm okay with what Daryl did. I mean, I wish it was somebody else, but I'm just loving Executioner Daryl.
I'm with Jake. I would have hit him with the back of the gun and be like,
Man,
I want them to make
often.
the decision, or do they leave him there?
No, but I agree with Cash, too. The thing is I agree with what Daryl's doing, but I wish Morales was still alive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a give and take.
Or just add... I think Morales just got added to the bad point because we're always talking about we need less people. And so it's hard for us to also advocate that...
No, bring Morales in, kill 3 different people. We're about to lose Eric. Ruin.
Yeah,
go ahead.
no.
Yeah.
Be gone.
But I mean, Eric wasn't getting screen time or anything, so
it's
he
called
doesn't
bringing
help.
a strong actor, and that is a season 1 character. Think about when we've gone back and brought people back in. When we brought Morgan back in, look what kind of character we got and what kind of actor we got. This is great. It's people from the beginning.
I'm not upset that... I'm upset that we didn't keep Morales or anything. It's just like we need to lose more people before we can advocate.
And you're right. You're right. We're cast heavy. There's no doubt. But
the thing is Morales and Morgan are the same person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, we can't have you both with the same kind of issue. And to tell you the truth, we're about to get to it.
I'm loving Morgan.
Oh, I'm not.
He just went
went
off the deep end of my end.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not loving what Jesus is doing either.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
We'll get to that in just a second. All right, let's finish up. So Rick and Daryl, they get outside, and now they're stuck in basically a crossfire. We got people coming from both sides down to the hallway. Mm-hmm. They're running out of ammo, and Rick comes up with the idea of shooting the fire extinguisher.
Is that an elevator shaft behind them?
Correct.
Okay.
Evidently, this is the one they crawled up.
Well, and also...
well, because they look over the elevator shaft, and they start shooting up it looks like.
And there was also like that initial door kick. It sounded like they tried to make it seem like it came from the 3rd floor. I don't know if y'all heard it either.
Oh, yeah, when he said they're here.
Yeah, and then we hear the door kick. Complete phantom on like how this door kick was.
Yeah, I'm not real sure.
There's just a small thing.
All I know is that when they're doing the shooting and everything like that Rick runs out of ammo in his MP5 that's silenced. That's fine. He pulls out a 9mm and he's running out of ammo. And then this is what problem I have. And then you see Daryl shooting a semi. I couldn't tell what it was. Then he pulls out the Taurus Judge.
The judge.
And the Taurus Judge holds 5 rounds. And that gun shot 17 times. I mean, it was blowing. It was like...
Very fast.
It was a lot of ammo coming out of that gun. Okay?
Okay, well, here's the thing, though. the way Rick is firing was the way Daryl should have been firing.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa, because Rick was firing that 9mm like it was a 44 cannon.
Oh yeah, it was like
shooting one round
Less
down.
kick than his Python has.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
That Beretta was like, like it was a
Did you
hand
notice that
cannon.
he didn't pull the python out?
No.
And he had it on his hip.
I was glad he didn't. But I'm just saying, that thing's going like this when that judge has got a 45 long Colt in it.
Yeah. And, I mean, he shoots
And that
thing
bad
steady.
boy ought to be. It has a barrel that's a half-inch long.
That thing should be two-handed, feet planted, everything.
You couldn't hit the bro. You was lucky you hit anybody in the hallway.
And you managed to hit somebody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay, so he shoots the fire extinguisher.
Mm-hmm.
And this is our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle move right here. We just like, oh no, we shouldn't shoot into the smoke that they're clearly hiding in. And then they just run up on them and they get thrown down an elevator.
Yeah.
That's my next thing is that you got two guys in this little alley and you have people that run into the smoke blind.
Yeah, and now your friends can't shoot in there because, oh, my buddies are in there. So what are we doing right now, guys?
I mean,
It's like the Three Stooges just all of a sudden came into this thing and it was like doo-doo, fall over each other and everything.
Okay, let's be honest about what we got going on here. Do you go upstairs and try to kill them people upstairs? Or do you just cover downstairs and just wait for backup or something like that? Or wait for them to try to leave?
I mean, I think it's okay trying to clear.
I think Morales says, I've got Rick up here. And so with that, it's like a prize. And to me, your guys want to get up there and be the guy who gets Rick. You know, not to kill him, but you're the guy who gets it and brings it to Negan.
Well, they're sure not trying to not kill him.
Right.
I mean,
But either way it goes,
True.
if you're the one who agrees them, this, that, or so on, I would want that if I was a bad guy. If you know one of the three leaders is up there.
yeah.
But also, like Jake said, there is an order for Rick to try to be captured alive. And so if that is your case, maybe you do just kind of wait it out and just
wait
be
it
like,
out. You even just call Negan and be like, I have Rick cornered
Yeah.
in this building. Do you want to come with the squad? Obviously, Negan can't because
Yes.
he's locked inside of a room. But I'm just like, you got to make that phone call. You got to talk
You gotta
to
try.
Simon.
Yeah, you gotta
Like,
call somebody.
We're a little occupied right now. Just kill that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like,
Get the okay or something.
just something. Because I feel like once they made that remark that they want Rick, the widow, and King kept alive for Negan, like I feel like there should be some
protocol or something that where
well, just make it clear like they're trying to get everybody but them. You know what I mean?
instead we've gotten
Everybody's getting shot straight at.
Ezekiel, first person they targeted. Rick, we're shooting all the way down the hallway and everything.
Yeah.
So no, I get what you're saying, and that is a little upsetting.
Well, I mean, just be consistent. You know what you want, because I love the idea of what he's saying.
Yes.
I even like they have the names, the widow and the king and Rick. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Right.
that's really cool. I was like, that's good writing. I like that.
Especially because we know Negan has the personal touch with Lucille and everything, and so there's a good reason why he would want them kept alive.
Yeah, I just be consistent with what you want. You know what I mean? Don't make that automatically, okay, these three people can not be shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now they are, I feel like they have a force field around them
Well,
now.
he did say, he's like, don't kill him unless you have to. You know, I mean, so he did sneak that last little line in there.
But I mean, and this
If
is
you
a
have
don't
a
have
50 cal machine gun.
yeah.
There's no reason to
And trust me,
grease
you can
directly-
tell who King Ezekiel is best by that sheep herder's hairpiece he's got on.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, things don't always line up like
No.
they could.
I agree. All right, so we throw a few people down the elevator shaft, and then all of a sudden, Aaron and company mow down the rest of them. They're in the hallway.
Do we see Aaron and company?
No.
Yeah, well, you hear somebody holler out, and we're like, hey, it's Rick, you know, and all the
Okay,
guys went
yeah,
down.
You hear the machine gun fire, greases what's
Yeah.
left of these people.
And then Rick screams, "It's us in here."
Yeah, and so this is what's the rest of the group that come in the building.
Okay.
And then you get Rick and Daryl go outside, and this is where you're assessing everything, and they're killing people who have turned into walkers. And again, we have guys who have turned into morose, month-old walkers that had just died in this skirmish. Did y'all notice that again? How they
Yes.
were like sunken face, gray, blue. I mean, like these guys have died within the hour.
I mean, I would say within 20 minutes. I mean,
Yeah, these are fast changers.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right.
Um,
So we shouldn't have like sunken in eyes and blood coming. You know, I mean, just like
No, they should just be their.
they should be
wounds.
them with different color eyes.
Well, it sucks because once again, Nictero pulls off very strong zombie work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the bites are disgusting.
Yeah, well, the guy's sitting there eating them, and like once
Yeah.
they turn and stuff like that.
Oh, and this camera shot, and just like I was like, man, it's been so long since we just had zombies munching people. And
yeah,
boom.
they did. Hold on.
Okay, what did you think about the walker biting the dude in the side of the skull?
We'll get to that in a minute.
Did that already happen?
No, that happened. We hadn't talked about the last group with Morgan and all them.
Okay, you're right. Okay,
haven't
I
talked
thought,
about
I thought
them
that
yet.
was in this section for some reason.
yeah.
Okay.
Now, you do get to see one guy chewing on the same intestines while he stared at the camera for 4 seconds.
Yeah, I saw one guy getting his the rear of his arm chewed on too. He's like kind of rolled over on his side.
I mean, this was gruesome. I loved every bit of it.
This is fun. I like this type of stuff.
So it was all that. So then they go around and they're shooting and killing all the walkers like that.
Knives to the head.
Yeah.
Right. And which warm butter.
Oh yeah.
I mean that shit still
The
drives me
boot
nuts.
knife just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it should not be warm butter at this point. It should still
Nobody.
be.
I mean, you should still have hard skull.
Yeah.
Okay.
These things just died.
You know what I mean? That's just that crap that drives you nuts, man.
Yeah,
I mean, your head does not turn to mush when you die.
Yeah, just every once in a while, I'd love to see like a guy that carries around like a hammer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like a
Like
railroad
a ballpoint
spike.
hand. Yeah.
You know, and just
Yeah.
Or just like one of those ballpoint hammers where it's like the end.
Yeah,
is
ball
got-
peen.
A ball peen hammer,
Ball
or
peen
one
hammer.
that has a sharp end on the end of it. Just something that shows a
body
cave
hammer
in.
would have
Ooh,
that.
yeah.
You know, bodywork hammer has a little spike on it.
Yes, I mean, amen.
Yeah, like a hiking
Yeah,
pick.
Or the climbing picks from like Everest
climbing
and
pick.
everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
money in the bank.
Vertical limit.
Yes.
So,
Chris O'Donnell in the spit.
stop. That's where we've derailed right there.
Bat nipples.
So they're killing all of them like that, and then you get, Rick takes pictures, and they're
Do we know
unloading
why
the-
they're taking pictures yet?
For Negan.
Okay.
I think it's for Negan, because even then he writes a note.
But it's
and
like, what is Negan even? I don't see Negan caring.
that's the whole deal. Like I don't know. Like they found that one. They found the satellite compound that had pictures of things.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's like doing reverse psychology of taking pictures of all their guys killed.
Yeah.
Like you did this to some people. Look at what we've done to you.
But
So
my
it's-
thing is, like, I just don't see Negan caring about his people at the same level.
I don't think he cares about it, but it also could make him you batshit crazy or scared shitless if you realize all your satellites have been killed out.
Okay,
I think he's
that's
trying to
fair.
make him make a bad decision.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
well,
what I mean?
it's
Piss him off.
Or like, this is
it's
proof
psychological warfare.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, you think you're all this, but we've wiped out all these all your satellites around you, where you're isolated.
Okay.
Which is a good thing, because where this show should be going based on the comic material, like we talked about before, it means you resort to measures that you're not used to create a difference in the game, and this is what I'm looking forward to.
And even though they didn't get the 50 cals from this, this Alexandrians, Hilltoppers, they got a lot of guns.
Oh
yes.
my God.
If Ezekiel's group didn't pick up
Well, out of the 45, 55 guys they
50
killed,
machine
which
guns.
all had rifles, machine guns, and everything
Yeah.
else, they should have an arsenal. There should be guys holding 10 guns over their shoulders as they're walking around.
there should be guys like, oh, how am I supposed to shoot? I'm holding 4 guns on my back.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. It's like Neo and...
Yeah, coming in the Matrix.
yeah, I can't remember her name, but it's just like, we don't even reload anymore. Just new guns. Ready, cocked and ready to load it, baby.
One of the best scenes of all time.
Yeah,
Oh,
no
absolutely.
doubt. When the pillars are being shot to pieces,
Oh, my
it's
God.
just amazing.
So well done.
And then just like the casual, I'm going to walk through this metal detector. And, oh, sir, you're, boom, dead.
Yeah. So, again, so he takes pictures and he writes a note. And then does he leave this note in the car? Is that what I saw?
No, because you clearly see in the teaser he's driving the same Jeep.
Now, I could have swore he took the little note
He sets it
and
in
a
the
couple
seat.
of pictures and he sets it in the seat or
He
something.
definitely does, but he's not leaving it there. I can go ahead and
Okay,
tell you.
all right.
Yeah.
So anyway, we do all that, and then they do show a scene of, I guess these are Alexandrians that are covered with sheets that are killed.
Yeah, there's 6 Alexandrians that died, and then everybody else is just walkers and bad guys that they're stabbing and
And
carrying
in
around.
honor of Glenn, we bury our own. So
And a truckload of some injured that they're sending
Right.
off.
I freeze frame. I was like, breast shot chick. Where is she? I know she's in the back of that truck with like a bandage on her
yeah.
boob. You know, just like, I swear. I know. Guys, I'm telling y'all now, I'll put money on it. We will see this chick alive back at Alexandria.
No
I'm
way.
telling you. It's going to happen. When it does, USOBs owe me lunch or something because it's going to happen.
She has that rare genetic mutation where her heart's on the other side of her body. And stuff. Yeah. What movie is that from? What is that?
So anyway, all right. So we see
No,
all
that
that.
was a Metal Gear Solid.
No, it's in a movie.
Okay.
So we're going to. Then it goes to where Rick and Daryl are out here by this Jeep, of course, by his bike.
Well, Rick comes down with a baby
Yes.
in his arms.
And gives it to Aaron.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about the scene.
Okay, so here's Aaron.
Aaron and his really poor cry face. Don't get me wrong, it was a tough scene, and it was. I think the emotion carried. It's just his face was hard to look at it, going, dude, you know.
You know what I think would have been so much easier if they just would have shown Eric as a walker and him having to kill it.
Yeah.
It would have been a better scene.
Dude, did y'all see my tweets like that? I was like, you know,
Oh, I didn't see it.
I put Eric was put to pasture.
Oh.
I got a lot of people feedback like that's fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
I took a picture of it on my TV and put it out there.
How do you not show Eric die on screen?
I
How do you
don't know.
not show him as a walker or whatever?
And
then
I
you-
didn't mind it, him going out in the field because I get to make fun of it. But
Okay, but they didn't show Sasha when Maggie and Jesus take her down
Yeah.
Yes.
and finish her off. You don't get to see her.
no,
You just hear her, and then you see them turn and look at her, and then you see them like tackle said thing and then stab her or whatever like that. You could do that for Eric. It's deserved.
Well, and Eric
here's-
even has the death in the comic book. Like, we
Oh,
can just pay it off.
thank
as
the
a
Lord
zombie.
in Talking Dead they talked about it. You know, I don't know if y'all watch Talking Dead, but
No.
they said they decided to change up from source material because unfortunately Eric gets shot in the face and was the first people to die. And I was like, we decided to have a more moment.
Yeah, but I wish they would have turned his head into a canoe. I mean, it would have been way cooler.
Yeah. Well, then at least do it, you know, as the way you were finishing him off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's turned.
Yeah,
I mean,
Aaron's like, Eric, no. And then you see Daryl
yeah, just come out.
with that judge right
Yeah.
there. Girl,
Do you know who that was? Yeah, doesn't matter.
Here, I saved one of his eyeballs for you. It landed on the ground.
All right. So when Eric was put to pasture, anyway, did y'all notice the 70 or 80 walkers in the field he was walking to?
Yeah, because I was going to be like, hey,
was
I
like-
wouldn't scream Eric anymore.
Yeah,
No, dude, it was like Field of Dreams walkers out there.
It was pretty sick.
It was so we're meaning to say that all that gunfire that was happening behind the tree didn't attract any of these walkers out in the
Nah,
field.
bro, you got to blow up gas tanks if you want to attract walkers. You got to have a motorcycle. You got to have greasy hair.
Oh my god!
They don't actually follow the fire and stuff. They follow the smell of Daryl.
And did you not see all of the silencers we had on these weapons? Clearly, that's going to muffle these shots.
I'm sorry. I mean, Eric's by the tree. And, you know, you're,
Oh, not to mention,
go back out there, Aaron. It's gonna be all right, Eric.
not to mention they're firing off of corrugated steel.
Yeah.
Just like,
And you hear people going, "Run! Get back!" You know, just come on.
and not to mention he walks over, Eric!
And then random guy comes 40 feet off screen. It's not him anymore, bro. It's not him.
But see, when he said it's not him, I was like, oh, that's not Eric.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't show his face. Eric's right over there. He's fine.
We got him in the truck. What the hell are
he's
you
in the
doing
back
back
of the
here?
truck. Don't worry.
Eric's just like, no. He just blows his brains out. No, Eric's right here. He's okay.
We got to him.
Then we would have got a head turned into a canoe.
Oh, yeah.
But Aaron's inflicted. That would have been legit.
You just see Jesus in the back of the truck. He didn't make it. He didn't make it.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. You see Eric like,
No.
I needed to take a piss on the other side of the tree, man.
really? I have a shy bladder.
Evidently, I got hit. Damn it.
Really? That's just him stumbling to take a piss in the weeds over there. It's like, damn, glad the gunfight's over.
Yeah, it's like a Monty Python scene, just like I was.
Daryl just stabs him in the side of the head.
Hey, why you guys leaving me? Damn it.
No, Aaron, you shouldn't come over here. It's pretty bad. You don't need to see this. He's just,
Okay. We've derailed. Let's get back on point here.
That's the funnest I've had for this whole episode.
Also, is there a worse place you would rather be than like a medical jeep going back? When if somebody dies, they just immediately turn into a water. It's like,
I've got my eyes on all you sons of bitches.
Oh, that rear view mirror would be just like hawked in on them.
anybody who closes their
One
eyes.
on the steering wheel, one on the mirror, just like
I got a live one in the chamber for any one of you bitches that started twitching.
don't put no seatbelts on these bastards. No. I'm flooring the brick.
That's where anyone closes their eyes.
Tuck and roll.
I'm heaving you out of here.
just roll out of the truck.
Say, no, guys, it's just an arbiter. Like, I'm good. I don't need to ride back with everybody.
That shit looks like a bite. Get out.
Bye.
Dead Alive reference again on that one.
Okay. All right. Let's get over to Morgan and Jesus and the group of jackasses that decide to tie everybody together and go to a stroll of the highway.
Yeah, just kill me before you tie me to 15 other people.
All right, so first off, the dude with the long hair and the goatee is way too overconfident and that he's going to survive.
Oh, he's super cheery.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus should walk over and execute this guy at this point. It's just like, dude, he's whistling. He's talking shit to Morgan.
Yep.
What do you want Morgan to do? I mean, somebody kneecap him or something.
Or somebody else from the kingdom tell Jesus who this a-hole is and everything, and just be like, there's a reason. Like,
nobody over here with rollerblade gear can stand this dude.
Yeah.
That shouldn't matter. Like, there should be more people besides Morgan being like, oh no.
Yeah, this is when Jesus is not looking. He fell. He didn't make it.
Yeah. Like, if
Horrific.
if I'm the guy behind this person, I'm kneecapping him. Be like, yeah, he's not able to walk anymore, guys.
Yeah. If I'm the one tied to this guy, I'm like,
yeah.
shut the fuck up, you piece of shit. You white trash Kid Rock motherfucker.
hey, that's gonna be our president.
No thanks. Yeah, no, Jesus, this guy, I mean, he has to die, right?
Yes.
It's already whack enough that now we're having almost reverse role. Jesus is old Morgan, Morgan's old Carol. So we're doing this all again.
Yeah,
Life
this is
is
what we're
precious.
doing that we're talking about
we
earlier.
don't execute people. Blah, 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 blah. We just rehash. And I'm actually on Morgan's side, 100% on all this.
Oh, 100%.
Up until they start fighting in a little bit and stuff like that. We're not there yet, but I'm just saying.
I'm Team Morgan versus Team Morgan and Jesus right now.
Okay, yeah.
All the way.
As of right now. But 5 minutes from now, I don't want either one of them on the screen.
No.
I wish both of them had fallen on the staff and just been into the...
What do they call it? The coup de grace thing or whatever, you know what I mean? Just fall on your sword.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they make a point to show you this fence that has been blown open and a car in the ditch as they're walking up. And out of nowhere...
Peter rolling.
They're Peter rolling, and the only thing missing is that, see me rolling, music is playing, I mean, that's the only thing missing. And then within a second, Morgan turns to have one literally within inches of him that he has to hold back.
Forearm shiver.
Forearm shiver. Okay, I'm sorry. This was the worst. Think about this. If this walker just rolls down this hill, okay, it had how fast do you think this thing's getting up, coming out of the ditch to get to Morgan that is at the street or the edge of the street, and so on. For him to be completely oblivious to this, to get that close to where he has to do the forearm and can't even get a weapon to put it into him.
No, this thing clearly like rolled down the hill, then ramped up the roadside and landed on its feet.
Rolled onto his feet.
Landed on its feet from the ramp.
Yeah. Didn't lose any arms or anything.
Yeah,
no,
nothing. And
I guess we solved the there's no dizziness if you're a zombie.
But it doesn't matter.
Okay, and
you shouldn't have to forearm shiver any of these walkers.
No.
They are Play-Doh. You just you flick them off of you.
Here's the other thing that drives me nuts. All right, even if there's 10 of them, did you see Jesus just walks over there?
Jesus is the only one doing it correctly. Everybody else is wasting ammo, point blank. Just lighting them up. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Yeah. But again, one of them was able to get through all of them and go chew on dude's face.
Yeah, okay.
Another one.
Not on his face. He chews on his scalp.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing to bite there. It's some skin.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gripping onto these. These things don't have...
And that dude's like, You know, I'm just like, man, knock him off at least.
Well, and also the people around him. You don't need a dead guy in the middle of the chain. Like, you kind of got to protect this person.
How hard is it for all y'all guys just to kick that Joker over and watch him splatter onto the highway?
Dude, roundhouse kick these things like Chuck Norris all day. Just for laughs. This would be comically fun, like Shaun of the Dead at this point.
Oh, just start doing like some Red Rover stuff.
I mean, that would be your new workout regiment. It's just like ring a bell, like, you know, put some wind chimes up to the walkers start walking. It's like, all right, ready. You know what I mean? And you just get some bullshit gloves and just start punching their heads off. I mean, this is stupid. There should be no threat to walkers anymore.
No,
unless it's like 100
this many
to 1.
years in. You shouldn't be guys going, ah! I mean, come on.
If you've lasted this long, you know how to handle yourself with a
Yes.
walker. Even if your hands are tied, sweep the leg, kick anything you can.
Sweep the leg, baby. Never fails.
Never fails. Sweep the leg. Their legs are like little popsicle sticks at this point, and if their head hits the ground on pavement,
it's going to look like a bowl of mashed potatoes spilled.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, what in the world? It looks like a water balloon when it hits. I don't understand. Like a rotten pumpkin. Just
I know, man.
It's just unacceptable at this point, man. Even raise your hands up and start clotheslining these things with your chain gang.
The only way this makes sense is if you have a wall of a horde coming at you where you cannot.
You're overwhelmed.
You're overwhelmed.
It's got to be like 100 to 1.
The only way this works, where even if there's groups of people shooting, that the horde is too much.
It's got to be like what I'm going to assume what Negan and Gabriel are going to be dealing with. Like,
Right,
that's
like
where
you singly you can't
That's
go out
fine.
there.
Nicotero clearly wanted to make a walker chew on a guy's head.
Yes.
So like, well, how can we get there? I know. We'll have him roll down this grass hill and upon this one guy that he got through all these people with knives and guns.
And people
and
surround
bite
him.
this dude's head off.
Well, it just shows to show you how many different ways can we have walkers enter a scene. Well, we can have them coming out of fire. We can have them dropping from a roof, coming through ceilings, falling from trees,
Sand
coming
pits.
out of sand.
Falling off of a overpass
Yeah.
and landing on you perfectly.
It's surviving.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the whole deal. Like, it's almost like we've run out of ways to have a cool entrance of walkers. You know what I mean? That's what's driving me nuts.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is not an issue. When you have this many people who are armed,
No.
that have intermittent walkers coming down a hill, I would be over there chuckling.
I mean, hilarious. Let me take my boot off and bash these stupid things.
I got this one. I got this one. You know, that's what it would have been like. Instead of people going, ah, you know.
That'll be like wagers.
Yeah.
Like, well, have you ever killed one with a high heel?
Yeah, I mean,
Here, I had this pencil.
yeah.
It's like the John Wick story. I can kill 7 walkers with 1 pencil.
Yeah.
Number 3.
That. It's like we should have seen Super Troopers and stuff, like making jokes as they're doing it. You know, instead we got guys screaming for their lives with their scalps getting bitten off. We have enough distraction that a whole group of 10 people are able to run off in the woods without anybody hardly noticing except for Morgan, who misses with a sniper rifle at basically 27 feet. You know, which baffles me. You know, and everybody else is standing still while he runs by himself for the 10 folks. It's a catastrophe of a scene from the beginning of the rolling. See me rolling. I mean, all the way to them running into the woods.
Well, and shout out to the second group where dude like breaks somebody's tibia and ankle to prevent the group from running. He's like, guys, we're not running.
Yeah.
Like, they even painted that in there.
So the one thing I did like is that when Morgan did catch the group, he just greases one to make sure they don't go
That's
anywhere.
perfect.
That was like,
Exactly.
yes,
Perfect.
you're not going nowhere because now you have a freaking boat anchor on you in the woods.
In order to drag this one around.
Yeah.
That's my statement of the beginning. Just kill me before you tie me to 7 other people.
Right. And so that was good. And then it leads to...
He gets shoulder checked by Jesus before he greases the next guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Now I'm on neither one of their teams.
Yes.
Because Jesus is being ridiculous.
Yes.
Now Morgan freaks out. I'm not ready. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm assuming leaves again?
Well, they do their whole little fight. Now, what do y'all think about the choreography of the fight?
It was atrocious.
Uh,
Like,
I thought it looked good when you see Morgan making swings at him
Mm-hmm.
and everything else, and then and he's able to sidestep and do some different things. I did like that. I thought that something else is that Morgan gets hit, gets right back up and goes back at it instead of these death blows where you're knocked out after one hit. You know? So he do that several times. There is one time where you see Jesus get hit in the stomach, and he's like, I thought I was watching Mike Tyson punch out with the face expression he had, like, the mouth wide open, and
well, that was when he hit him with
the gunshot.
He's Glass Joe.
Yeah. Other than that, and I thought all that stuff was pretty decent.
Using the tree.
Yeah.
Using the trees was cool, so you can't swing the stick at you.
Yeah, the only thing about it is that Morgan in the past has always been a reactive fighter with his staff, never the aggressor. In this entire fight, he was the aggressor. Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me wrong, it seemed like he's had a snap or, a break or, I'm about to clear again or whatever it is. But that was the difference in the fight this time, is he was the aggressor, and it was quite different to see him. He's always been portrayed as the guy who makes a reactive move versus the guy who is proactive. And so that was something that was different about the fight,
Well, there's one point in this fight where Jesus actually catches the staff and then just kind of like it edits away. And then...
Well, he says, is that it?
Well, no, it was before all that. Like, they're like, it's just like in between like 7 punches and stuff, Jesus catches it, and then the next clip is Morgan coming over and hitting him over the top, and it's just like, this fight should really already be over.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to see Morgan struggling again with this crap, and I don't want to see Jesus holier than thou now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and especially with so many people backing Morgan in the moment. Like, Tara comes out, I'm with you, Morgan.
But see, Morgan, Tara comes off even kind of silly looking right now. When she points the
gun. You're not wrong.
They kept showing that in the teaser, or the trailer for the season, where she's pointing that gun off the back of the truck and stuff. I'm like, oh, now in the episode, it looks even stupider. You know what I mean? I'm just...
Did y'all notice that she actually
stuff.
Closed an eye like she was actually aiming? I didn't think she had to do that. I thought she was just
she's Deadeye.
Yeah, I thought she could just kill all 6 of them.
She's the Waco kid.
Oh, yeah. We said she's like +7 accuracy to everybody.
+7.
The buff.
Yeah. I hate that we have these two characters doing the whole morality test, of no, it can't be like this, and no, it can't be, and no, things are undecided, no, I can't be a part of this, and just takes an effing walk in the woods. Like, where's he going?
And the fact that Morgan can't understand where Jesus is coming from when he just got off of this.
Yeah.
When those people were attacking Alexandria, and he's over there trying to tie people up.
Yeah.
Exactly what Jesus is doing right now. He's like, we could take prisoners. We don't execute people. Now Jesus is doing the same thing, and Morgan's like, oh, how dare you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the flip-flop. I mean, it's just...
But it's rehashing the same garbage, man.
Yep.
I've had my fill of it. Like, there's more to do with these characters.
There is. And especially since we've had Morgan just like as this trained killer now. Like just let him enjoy that. Like, we don't need Jesus being like, we don't need good people right now. This is war.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I just, that whole crap, it bothered me. I was done with it. And then when you see Jesus come back up, I want to take that back. Gregory shows up at the hilltop. I'm talking now. I will say one of the funniest parts here is Gregory's like, "Oh, y'all let me in, help." Da da da. They crack the door. There's nothing wrong with the door, is there?
Is the gate broken?
Yeah, I told him to
oil that thing.
Gate's not broken, is it?
And then he's like, "Yeah, you know how Cal is, guys." Yeah. What the F, Gregory?
You just got to figure out. Yeah. You tend to be over dramatic.
I thought Gregory was
I didn't eat her pancakes, man. What the shit, man?
See, I think they enjoy writing for Gregory. Like,
yeah, I think so.
Well, when you're a D-bag, it's easy.
Yeah, no, but he's capable of pulling off the lines.
Fantastic job.
Yeah, I mean, like, I like him as an actor.
Like, he was doubling back on a lot of things he was saying. Like, in the movie, he's like, well, can I spin this? Yeah, we'll go ahead and double back on
I love it. He's like, I'm a believer now. I'm on your side now. I believe everything you're saying.
Yeah. It's like, how'd you get Gabriel's car? Who? No, this car was just on the side of the road.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
This was just out there.
I just found it.
And it's hilarious because she already knows.
Exactly.
People have come back because of what Gregory said. Yeah. This is excellent. I didn't mind any of this. No. Until the point where Maggie's going, shut up, Gregory. I was like, it didn't look too good on you, Maggie.
No, but I like that part because it's like, I'm already upset that I said yes to this person. And it's just like, God. It was like one of those...
we are not bringing them in here. These people are monsters. I've seen them. I saw them face to face.
I've looked into their eyes. They are monsters.
Yeah. So again, Jesus is telling him like there's 2 empty trailers that we can lock them in and keep guards on.
I'm sure this will turn out just peachy.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
I could see
who's
holding...
feeding these MFers while they're in there, and who's going to the bathroom break, and who's. I mean, I'm just like, this is a bad idea all around.
No, this is like
2 trailers, and you wanted like the Hilltop's not really known for their
Stuff these 30 guys.
Yeah.
2 trailers.
This is basically a trafficking trailer. You just kill one of them, turn him into a toilet, and just basically shit down his throat for the rest of the time.
You just put a bucket in there. That's all. You just
Pry his mouth wide open every time.
I'm done.
Sacrifice the Kid Rock looking motherfucker. Yeah. Just turn him into a human urinal and shit box.
Oh my god.
I think that's the episode.
Yeah, it was enough.
Yeah, I mean,
it was enough.
if not, that is the episode.
Oh my god.
Well, Rick and Daryl and the guy shoots at the Jeep, and he finds out that they moved the guns, and Daryl greases
he's like,
him.
I give you my word, man. There's not worth much in this world.
Can I leave
you
now?
have my word. But your dome's gone.
And he has nothing to say to Daryl.
No. Yeah, it just looks at him like, what the?
He's just like,
It's like he wants to, but he's just like, I already saw you kill Morales. Like,
it's like, if I say anything, he'll shoot me next.
yeah.
Daryl's a loose fucking cannon. So Daryl's the new Shane now. So.
Oh god, no.
Yes.
Much dirtier Shane. Daryl at this point is he's a problematic character.
Oh yeah.
He's a zombie magnet, basically.
So on Talking Dead, they addressed, the number one question for other cast members is what does Daryl smell like? Or, Reedus.
Oh yeah.
That was discussed. And they come to say he actually smells really good because what they do to make his hair look like that, which is on purpose every episode, is they fill his hair with sunscreen, some kind of solution, and dirt. To make it look greasy and nasty.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah. Bravo.
Best special effects.
Really, they just need CG and a bunch of flies around his head.
They need to talk to Westworld. Whoever was working with all those flies,
Just
bring them over.
Talk to Pigpen on Peanuts. Just have him toting a blanket around. It's awful.
What if they just brought in like the Charlie Brown dust clouds and everything,
That's what
just
I'm
made it
saying.
look super fake?
Yeah, the little curlies above him, with the flies spinning around.
All right, something else to Talking Dead brought in, and I'll wrap it up here, is that you know that Eric, the character, the guy who plays him, he's not a homosexual person in real life, but also he is one of the members of the Blue Man Group.
Really?
They showed a picture of him in his Blue Man outfit and his drums and the whole 9 yards. The guy is a Blue Man character.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm serious, the heart attack, man. I was blown away.
How very strange.
How is that not more known? Like,
And so his new job now is he's going to be a reoccurring role in Homeland. So he hooked up with them after this. So kudos to him, man.
Hey, good job, Eric.
Yeah.
Go on to a better written show.
well, that's up for debate. There's been a few questionable.
There's 90% better written shows.
One of these shows has won Emmys and one of them hadn't.
I'm just saying there's a
Let's
lot of
see
questionable
which one
stuff.
Wait a minute. Walking Dead doesn't know what an Emmy is.
Iffy. They won the Iffies awards.
Anyway, I think that's pretty much the episode. I think we've chainsawed enough.
Yeah. After the
Lacking
human shitbox, I'm pretty much done.
We're lacking a Negan or Gabriel scene. We were lacking a Michonne or Carl scene.
Oh my god! If they would have tried to cut back to any of them though, with all this other stuff, it would have been even more of a train wreck.
Yes,
I'm glad they're staying on the path that they're on, whether or not they're.
I mean, I'm still assuming
barbecuing it.
Just, I don't even know what to call it. Crop firing.
I mean, I'm still assuming Michonne is taking every sniper shot from the house, so it enhances every sniper shot.
Yeah, but. Guys, what did y'all think? Did y'all think the episode was as rough as we did, or do you think we're complete idiots? And tell us why. We got a ton of buzz on social media about how the episode had a lot of issues. Golly, even our girl in New York, Kelly, man, she was just like, I feel dumber watching this episode. And I was like, damn! And
maybe we just have more fun chainsawing episodes.
I don't know.
Good episodes aren't as fun to talk about.
It's just, I'm just hoping that there's a silver lining. There's something that's going to add up that's going to make this better. I don't know. It's iffy. But if y'all got some comments or thoughts about us or how the show's going like that, don't hesitate to email us or talk to us on social media. We're at BleedTVPodcast@gmail.com. We're on Twitter as BleedTV Podcast, as well as on Facebook as BleedTV Podcast or Zach BleedTV. I put an account on there as well. Don't hesitate at all. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to have a chat and banter. We respect opinions. If you think our stuff is shit, then fine. Hey, man, that's your opinion. We're all about it. Don't carry the weight.
With a zombie.
Yeah, so, just hit us up. Let us know what you're thinking and moving on. And we're going to be looking forward to the next episode. Hopefully it's a little more redemptive than this one. And moving on. Y'all got anything else?
I do not.
Guys, this was BleedTV, and I'm Zach.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Cash.
And we'll see y'all next week.